are going to be concluding our 10 Solana challenge. It's been a month of high activity, frequent volume, garbage buys, degen coin flips, and more. As always, this is not financial advice. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, lick the like button, follow Micah G, follow me. Nothing's financial advice, but let's dive right into it because, man, we got a ton of fun going on. Micah, how are you?
Doing all right. I'm enjoying me some Solana trading. It's continued to save me money not buying Ethereum projects. I was big on Gossamer Seed, so I was going to put all my money in there, and then got to see just incredibly disappointing stuff from them yesterday. So yeah, I'm saving a lot of money over here, and I'm having fun trading. So yeah, excited to get into it.
That's a ton of fun. Let me start because sadly, I do think you may have taken the reins here, won the challenge. Sadly, at the moment, I'm taking a look. You can see all my stuff did not sell. So last night, decided to be a normal human being. Bought some things before I went out. Thought that I listed them. They didn't get listed. So now I'm sitting on 9 of these Saint Degens that were a 0.6 entry. They got all the way up to 0.9. Would have put me at like 33 SOL. Thought they were listed. They weren't listed. I did get a rare, though, so that one did sell. Balance-wise, I'm sitting at a lovely 23.31 salami. There's got to be a way to see that on the screen. There we go. So main wallet, 23.31, sadly, and about 6.9 in the tank. So we're sitting about 30.2. Take a look at my activity, man. You'll see. Got a couple sales here. A few of the buys. I'm so mad about the listing on these. So quick scalps on these, trying to catch up after you were sharing your DCF plays. I did lose a soul degen coin flipping. So there was that too. I started chasing, bought these monster scientists, took a loss on that. Man, when I'd say like this was a nice trade though. The Gothic degens and the Gothic ghosts. That was one that the Discord was hyped on. I got in at 2 on the ghosts, out at 4, in at 6 on the Gothic degens, out at 9. So that's what really got me up to that 30, give or take, balance. But man, dude, this thing has not been easy. I'll tell you that much. We've made how many trades? Yeah, these bloodbaths ended up rugging. I got out on those for like a nice 2 SOL, 3 SOL after scalping 30 or 40 of them. It's been chaotic.
Yeah, and even like in the last week, I mean, because when we were talking in the last week one, weren't what was the project? Degen Town? We're at like 3 or 4, and then suddenly, so we're just kind of talking crap about them. I think the artwork looks horrible. And then those shot up. You made a bunch on that, right? Or I think you had one. So
like 19 or 9 or so. I was down bad, bro, like real bad, and I had no shot at even winning. And you can see I picked them up at 4.9 on that one. Got another one in here for like 6 or 7. I don't even know what this.
I saw like an 11 sale or a 12 sale.
Yeah,
or something.
7-8 for one, 4.96, and I got out. I listed for 12.469 and 11 on the other one. So right there was like a 7 SOL swing that saved me.
Yeah, that's huge. I do have to admit, I kind of followed you into the Gothic degens. So I got in on 2 Gothic degens at 6.7, 6.8 ish. And got some sales at like 9 there. But I will say the only reason I looked at them was you discussing them. So I feel a little bit dirty about basically like using my competition as my alpha.
Well, you started with that too with the Cubists. We were on an ETH talking about Cubists and gambling on floor prices. And then sure enough, you were like, oh yeah, I just grabbed a couple in the wallet. So like, I'm not mad about you catching a win here. I'm not mad about you potentially beating me. The Padawan is finally becoming the Jedi. I'm comfortable with it. You've learned. You've gotten a shot. It's cool.
I think the danger, though, is that like probably without you and other people discussing Solana projects, I have no chance. So unfortunately, I'm not sure that the win is not tainted a little bit by the fact that I'm basically just following whatever Solana traders tell me to buy. But I feel like the one thing I have had is good exits, like that I don't fall in love. I don't get like caught up in stuff. So that's been good, as like just being disciplined. Doesn't matter if you don't know that much about Solana, if you can just like sense movement and be like, this is good enough. I made some money. Because was that
too? Was like from an ETH perspective, how did you feel trading on Sol? Like you've used Nerds, you're very familiar with it. We use Soloist on, I know both of us use it almost entirely. So I'm just curious, like from a carryover perspective, for people who have not dove into Sol, and you coming from primarily ETH, I mean, we've been trading ETH for over a year now together. I'm just curious what your thoughts were on that kind of crossover. I mean, you did great. You up 20 SOL. You've 200%ed your portfolio in 1 month, which is nothing to flack out when the entire market's cratering. But I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, so I guess not to like shill the Discord too much here, but like you do kind of need some sort of alpha group if you're not actually tuned into projects. It does feel a little clicky or a little, like there's insider info. There's a lot of like, how do you even figure out what launch NFTs are coming up or what, projects are coming up? So I would just say like the only thing that I did in the challenge, and if you're not a native and you don't already have connections or people that will talk to you about projects, you kind of have to find some sort of community of people that are going to be tuned into Solana projects. So for me, it's like I had the Soul Trades channel, and then I had NFT Soloist, and I had literally nothing else. I don't know how to look up upcoming projects. I don't know how to, like we couldn't do white lists or any sort of like pre-raffles. So I'm just sort of sitting there and saying like, hey guys, what are people buying today? And then just looking at the artwork. And that was kind of, I think I've been around long enough in general that I could kind of, I mean, it didn't work on Degen Town here because I think this artwork looks awful. But in general, you could kind of see the difference where you were like, I don't think that this artwork is going to justify the floor price. The Gothic Degens was an example where once you started to see their other projects, I think the original artwork looks a little like meh. But once you started to see that style with the gorillas or with not the monkey business. What was the other collection?
Ghost Kids. So
the Ghost Kids look so good. So you start to see the like, oh shit, people would rock this art style with their favorite collection as a PFP. So I just think that like, if I had seen that sooner, that would have made sense for me from like having done enough trading to have a good eye for like what's going to take off. But yeah, that was kind of a big one is just like, what good projects look like or what don't in general once you've done it enough. And that translates on any chain.
The Discord was so active on these, like crazy. There was one guy in the Discord, shout out Gary. I was trying to talk to him last night about how this is mildly a Ponzi scheme. And there was some pushback on the conversation, but I was trying to just explain, like, by owning the main collection, you get airdrops of these other collections, and eventually those collections will bottom out, which makes a nice shape. So I'm like trying to explain that, but I was like, you were early. Like the guy got in at 2.5 on the Gothic Degen. So I'm like, you are like the top of the pyramid. You are exactly where you want to be. You got in, your cost basis is already covered because you've been selling the airdrops. Like you're in a much better situation than if I were to buy these right now. But this project, same idea, like you just said, it was wicked interesting to see so much traction on it. And then you saw like Chartfu and Warbucks, two of the big names over at Magic Eden, get honoraries of their PFP in this style. And they just looked awesome. Like this art originally is like pixel art on the Ghost Kids. And I think the smooth line looked way better. There was rumors that it was going to be SMBs. It turns out that it was Degen coin flip that they get a couple free flips on. At this point, we've talked about Degen coin flip a lot because it seems like with a small balance, you may as well gamble a little bit.
Yeah, but, I gotta be honest too. I might have made about 5 or 6 SOL, as in like the difference in this challenge on Degen coin flip. I just got really lucky towards the end, and we started to compare balances. And if I was a little bit down from you, I would just try to degen my way like above you. So, and I got really lucky. I sat on heads and I started to get a few. So I was degen coin flipping like 2 SOL and just won
you were swinging
twice in a row. Oh, I was swinging big time. Felt kind of, and I ended up getting really lucky. So my SOL balance right now is actually 34.28.
Oh, damn, man. You get a nice bag. You want to share your screen? Let's see what you got into here.
Yeah, I mean, the win feels a little dirty because I was mostly relying on you and other people to give me the plays. But I still got out of them. I still had to sell out. But let me try to see where we were. I sold a bunch of these. Yeah, this is kind of where we were. Like I sold out of all the degens early because I thought the art looked stupid. I mean, the degens, I should have known if they were backed by Magic Eden that they could go higher. I sold this one early. like unrevealed.
That one does
That
look cool. But dude,
that
the bad ones are so bad. Like the bad
yeah,
ones.
the floor is like real bad, and then the ceiling's like kind of cool, or like those one of ones were super cool. But yeah, I was just buying a bunch of whatever the Discord would mention. But as we got close to the end of the challenge, like these 0 days, which I thought looked good, uh, they just didn't move that much. Like there's not a lot of appetite for a lot of these projects. Net runners last night, I managed to buy or mint them as I saw they were like the only thing yesterday that was gonna sell out. So I minted those, but again, with only a day, like I can't wait for any movement. I basically sold right back out of them at like tiny profits. Like at this point, I knew we were close, so I was just trying to just get any fraction of a salami I could. Uh, but yeah, so I don't feel like I made any really good plays other than the Gothic Degen. So the Gothic Degen, I bought 2 of them at 6, and then sold one of them at like 9 point something. Yeah, I think that was the only big swing I had since last week was just getting 2 Gothic Degens right when you and some other people had mentioned them. So that gave me like an extra 6 soul. I started selling out of all these like, the sneaker plays are getting me like 0.1 at a time. But I mean, I do have to admit the last week I was all about protecting the downside. Yeah, so here's my 2 Gothic Degens. Got back
I
in
was
it.
in this like boat. It was like I would rather cut quickly and keep anything to be as close to 30 as I can. And even now, like I said, dude, when I got back and I saw that the listings failed, because I was out at dinner, looked at my phone, checked the floor, saw that they were at 0.95. I was like, oh, let's go. At least at 33. Get home. My balance still says like 8 soul in the wallet. I'm like, wait a minute. What just happened? What does this mean?
Yeah.
And now you can see I'm sitting here. I got a DM on Twitter, bro, of someone that's like, is this you attacking the floor? And I was like, yeah. And they're just like, I respect it, but man, that hurts from the project. And I explained, I was like, dude, I got to go completely liquid here because I'm doing this challenge. I got to move. Like, I got to get out. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, no problem. And then he responds to the last line. Is like, I hope you beat Micah. And I'm like, oh, so you won. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah, the Netrunners play actually. So Netrunners last night I thought was interesting because I know you had talked about Solana, like it's a tool or they're trying to make a tool for tax stuff. So I thought, hey, this is a really cool project. They're trying to make like a wallet tracker tax tool. I know you'd had a ton of problem with Solana taxes last time. So I bought it and I was like, oh, this is awesome. But then people were just giving me crap for just immediately offloading them on any pump. And it's like, look, I don't have time for them to make a project. I have 1 day to make money. So I was just trying to be careful, trying to get out of everything. So that's the key of this week, or what my week was just trying not to take losses. So I would just immediately sell out of anything I bought for like probably made 30 cents off of this trade. Sold my last Gothic Degen, bought some other, stuff, but it was all just minimizing losses. But then whenever I got behind you or I felt bad, I started Degen coin flipping 2 soul, and I'm on a 3 win streak, which probably is the only reason. Yes.
Right now, you're on the 3 win streak.
Which is 6 Solana, which means I would have lost to you if I had not rolled 3 heads or flipped 3 heads in a row for 2 soul each. So it's a hollow victory, but I will take my soul and I will buy a couple of hamburgers with it. So I probably don't deserve this, but it's indicative of Solana, right? Like this is just how it goes.
It's a gambling at that point. And like even some of the quick flips, like one of the comments on the chat was like, you guys are working way too hard for $40. But hey man, Micah pressed 1 button and made 6 soul 3 times in a row. So don't tell me you're working too hard for $1.80 here,
Boom. I mean, tomorrow, right after the challenge, I might be stuck gambling and this goes back down to 0 soul. But in the meantime, I'm gonna bask in my 3 win streak. It was fun. I don't feel like it was as accidental. And I don't know if you have any thought on this, but like it didn't feel out of control or like I got lucky. We didn't roll anything rare. We didn't like it felt relatively, I don't want to say this in case we do another thing in the future, but like it felt repeatable, right? I felt like I could filter through projects. I could get in when I felt like it. I could get out. If everyone was doing what we were doing, this market would be pretty unhealthy. Like we are definitely, you know, we're not the people that are allowing projects to pump by holding it. But in the meantime, it's felt sustainable. I didn't feel like I took, other than Degen coin flipping, that many risks.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point on it too. It's like I've been trading this way for a very long time in Solana at this point, and like it's damn clear I get in and out of projects extremely quick, extremely fast for that profit. And there is traders just like me, but you also do have the same on the opposite side of it. Like the Nifty Discord, not to keep shilling it, but it's a great comparison. When you look at stuff like that, it's like there's a lot of people in there that really back projects and have these theses on why they want to hold. And for us, it makes sense because like we've talked a lot about our ETH losses, and I think some of that helps us on Sol to realize like you got to play into these conversations and pumps, but not hold everything because we see where it goes. So it's like as a trader, I just find Sol more efficient because you can, like you said, keep that downside risk too. So it's kind of different from that perspective. Where on ETH, it's like you almost have to list right away, and just either your target's going to get hit or you have to undercut your own price to get out. Where with Sol, it's like you can sit for a little bit, list last minute, delist, come back, figure it out. It's just different trading, but I think it's more trade friendly. And like you said, it seems repeatable. So I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes. I know Running Man wants to get in on the next one. That man's gonna slaughter us. I'm terrified because
I'm terrified. This, especially Degen coin flipping, I can't expect that part is going to be repeatable. So I might be in more trouble. But I would say that that's the interesting thing about like the no gas and all that stuff. It's just like there are situations where everybody gets into a project and then everyone is stressed out because we all overpaid. I think we saw that with like the doodle boxes. It happened with Gossamer Seed where they had a free mint. I know I'm talking ETH projects here, but like there are these situations where people have paid a lot in gas or they've paid a lot, in dollar terms. And it just stresses out the whole environment that when the floor starts dipping, everyone just panics and has to get out because the losses are so large. And there's something about these like low mint prices. You didn't pay a lot in gas. So if the floor price goes up a little bit, then everyone's making a little bit of money. There's just something about it that makes the trades less stressful. And you get to see the floor yo-yo back and forth because people aren't as scared of getting in. Whereas like if you're talking $600 losses, people just freeze up when it's going down in price and it just makes it worse. So it's, from a day trading or a flipping standpoint, it's just so much more relaxed and fun. And obviously the dollar values make it less scary.
it feels less scary. It's just hilarious too, because even in the Discord now, people are like, Sol's gonna be 200 later this year. Like people are still adamant that it's gonna keep pumping. And like when Sol was 260 and I was trading like this, it felt unreal. Like, dude, you make half a Sol, you're up $130. It's like this is amazing, and it was the same price action, which is crazy to like look back on. Is all these quick scalps and stuff. I was being so aggressive with that previously when Sol was so much higher that now it's like I still have the same mindset, but I look at my USD balance. I'm like, man, I really just made 15 trades for $4.70. Like this is crazy. Like what am I doing? And you look back,
wins and wins. A win's a win, baby.
Oh man, that's the toughest part. And the market conditions are tough. Like I think we just showed that you can make money in a down market from even coming from outside. It's just like the resources that you have on hand are the big things. And I gotta say, man, join the Nifty Discord. Sol Trades is free, but they're on it. It's a 24/7 activity, aggregating a bunch of information. It's good. And the fact we both were able to make 20 Sol, give or take. Yes, there was some DCF from you, and I took some losses on it, but it's part of Solana, so.
Yeah, this is part of the game. But I would say that's the other point is like you do have to not buy a lot of stuff. Like in this current market, like yesterday was a bloodbath. Like everyone thought this project was going to be good. Some of the, like the tokens way back in the day where you get a free one, I think they were called Shroud. Those were trading at like 14 Sol or 15 Sol. So like you do have to pick your spots because in this market, there's so much stuff that everyone seems interested in, and then it just doesn't sell out. Like you just have to not buy into stuff a ton, which I think is hard for some people, especially if you're like a Solana trader that like just wants action, like just walks in the Discord and is like, what am I buying today? Like there's days where there's literally no good buys. And I think that's the hard part in this market is just like, if you're an ADD style trader, like you just want to make moves, there can be hours to days on end where there's almost no good moves. So I think that helped me on the ETH side is being slower in ETH in a down market. It's okay to have a day where you don't make trades, where you just watch and you're like, none of this stuff is huge. So I think that actually helps me in this down market versus Solana traders that are used to like buying everything. Because right now, like most projects that are minting are losses or like don't even sell out. Because
I bought a bunch of those shrouded playgrounds, bro, under mint. So
I
like
mean,
for
look at
me,
that. This
I
is
know.
what is this like $400,000 at three soul a piece that people just have locked in here and it hasn't even minted out. So
I
yeah, a
got
lot of these
6
projects.
hot wallet right now. I bought them all under 3 soul. I actually traded those shrouds. I got 2 of them at 12 and got out of them at 18. So it was like a 10% fee. So I mean, I think I made like 10 soul total on those 2 that I traded, which I was happy about. But then if this project launched a month ago, I think it would have already sold out and done very well. The hype was there, but this reminds me a lot of like what happened on like the Possessed. There was a ton of hype, a ton of run up, hard to get whitelist. People were really excited about this new art, and they launched at just a god awful time. Like just market is not here for it. They kept the same mint price that they were going to keep back then, and you've seen how it plays out. People just are not comfortable paying that right now.
Do you like this art? I mean, I know we're getting off the challenge here, but like, are
I mean, the
you?
challenge is done. Micah won. Shout out Micah. I'm pissed. Glad we learned a thing or two, and glad the one thing we did say, my hot wallet, I'm up like 60 sold this
Yeah,
month. I was taking
that
bigger
is
swings, same shit I was buying anyway.
that is the other caveat. I mean, there's a number of asterisks we have to put in this, but the other caveat is Easy wasn't even trading the first 3 weeks, and then in 1 week he shot past me to 30 soul, and then I barely got. So I think I got 1 week of Easy's attention when he got worried on week
He's like,
3,
oh, shit, I gotta catch
and
up.
then he started trading and was immediately at 30 Ethereum. So yeah, I have to thank Easy for basically not trading for the first 3 weeks of this because he was busy trying to make real money over on a big wallet. And then I have to thank Degen CoinFlip.
For getting the
Not
push up.
financial advice. Please don't get into gambling, kids. But I got to thank Degen CoinFlip for my 3-win streak.
You gotta throw one live on the stream. Let's hit one right now.
Okay, let's do it right now.
He just rips it. All right, let's do it right now. All right, it's on heads. Let's see what we got here.
Hell yes! Hell yes! All right, new. Got him, baby.
Oh my god, that was so
Yep,
funny.
that's pretty much how my luck went on this challenge. So
Here you have it. He wins the challenge off of 4 straight coin flips. That boy is on fire. Oh my god, bro, I'm dying. That was so
all
funny.
right, well.
I don't even think we can keep running off that. Like,
Yeah.
we may have to slap it here because that's unreal.
If you're following for trading advice, that's how you do it right there. Just that's
Oh my
pretty much how you trade on Solana.
That's a coin flip every project. That was the great. That was absolute gold, bro.
All right. Well, I hope you all have learned something about how to trade on Solana.
Oh my god. Well, on that note, we've seen where the challenge went. Micah, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah,
This was the 10 soul challenge. We love it. Micah got the W. Shout out, Micah. We got to give him a round of applause. It's an impressive 2-time champion here. We're going to have to bounce back. I kind of love that we ended on a DCF coin flip for another 2 soul to push Micah even further in the lead. We're going to come back with this. I think we got some cool ideas coming up too. Just to tease some stuff. I want to get it like an around the horn style show for trading where we like talk actual projects and floor and point system whole 9. So we got some cool stuff I'm excited for. We'll get Running Man into the next challenge. I know there's a few other people in the Nifty that want to dive into the 10 soul challenge. So stay tuned. Micah, you're going to have to
come at me, y'all. Come at me.
The belt. Got to defend the belt.
Okay,
hey,
yeah, super fun, Easy.
Appreciate you, Micah. You're the man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time.